Hi there, this is Matt Scourin, the Floor Detective. I've got another video here talking about carpet. You've already gone through the first video, you've made your decision, and I decided I want to have carpet. So let's talk about what questions you have to ask yourself before you buy carpet. Thank you for tuning into my videos here. If you like them, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. You walk into a carpet store, it's full of carpet samples. Thousands, tens of thousands of colors, hundreds of different styles, constructions, face weights, types of yarn, etc. How do you make sense out of it all? Well, let me just kind of give you a quick primer on carpet. First thing to decide is cut pile, looped pile. Got to get my hands here on the frame. There we go. Cut pile, loop pile. Cut pile carpet has a lot of advantages. It's a lot softer underfoot. It is easier to seam. It comes in a much broader range of colors, styles, and patterns, and is easier to install for most installers. The disadvantages to cut pile carpeting is it will show footprints. There's no way around it. If you want a carpet that doesn't show footprints, cut pile's not for you. Some cut piles show it worse than others, but they all do show footprints. It will show traffic lanes for the same reason. What makes the cut pile softer is the fact that the yarn compresses as you step on it. It crushes down and comes back up initially, and after a while of walking in the same place, tends to crush back down and doesn't come back up all the way. So it tends to show traffic lanes faster than others. There are ways around that, and I'll get to that in a second here. But those are the disadvantages primarily to cut pile carpeting. Loop pile carpeting, also known as Berber, its advantages are hides footprints very well. May not eliminate them, you might still see them, but it pretty effectively hides them. Since you're always walking on the yarn loops, on the sides of the yarn loop, instead of a yarn tuft here that you're always pushing down, you're walking on the side of a yarn loop in a Berber construction. And for that reason, you're not causing the tip of the yarn tuft to untwist and the filaments to split out and get entangled and produce a matted appearance. So the Berbers tend to hide traffic lanes much more. They withstand foot traffic better. They tend to have denser constructions, and much shorter pile heights, which also contributes to better hiding of traffic lanes. Disadvantages to loop pile constructions is seams tend to be more visible in loop pile, just because of the shorter pile height and the fact that everything's going in straight rows. Doesn't have the soft feel of a cut pile carpet. Other constructions try to combine the two. They make cut and loop constructions, the old sculpture carpets from back in the 80s and 90s. I haven't really seen many of those recently, and it's probably just as well. You can do textures both in cut piles and textures in Berbers, so you have different pile heights. The problem with different pile heights that you're going to run into is whenever you walk on a carpet that has different pile heights, you're walking on the top pile, not the shorter pile. So you're only walking on half of the yarn or less, depending on the type of pattern. So eventually you're going to crush that down to the level of the low pile, and a lot of times you'll lose your pattern completely because the pattern was made out of that texture. And if you crush it down, now I don't have a pattern in the traffic lanes, where I still have it, and the traffic lanes become more obvious. Something to consider as you're looking at both textured Berbers or patterned Berbers, as well as what we call a pin dot cut and loop, where you have a cut pile carpet with little pin dots of loop pile height. You'd be better off, if it's a room that's going to get a lot of traffic, you'd be better off with a continuous level pile height than with variations in pile height. Pattern goods, as a general rule, hide traffic lanes much better than non-patterned goods. these are examples of pattern goods. This would be more of a pin dot, but it's a level cut and loop construction. And something like this you've probably seen in your favorite restaurant, or usually in a commercial environment. Restaurants learned years ago that patterns hide things. You can spill something on a patterned carpet and you may never even see that you spilled it, because it just blends in with the pattern. So if you have a really high traffic area, you might want to consider putting a pattern piece of goods in there, because that will truly hide the traffic much better than a solid color will. Carpet comes in different yarn types. Nylon historically has always been the most durable yarn type that carpet is made out of. There are different types of nylon. Some are made exclusively by the carpet mill themselves. Others are made by outside companies and that sell to the carpet mills. Companies that were originally DuPont and Monsanto have sold off their yarn subsidiaries, and they're standalone companies now. They're not part of the overall chemical company, which you really don't need to know. But nylon is single-handedly the most durable yarn out of all the different carpet yarns that you can get. It is relatively economical. It dyes really well. You can dye it one of two ways. You can melt it down, and when it's in solution you can add the color at that point, and it's called solution dyed. Or you can extrude it into a yarn and then coat the yarn with a color either before it's tufted or after it's tufted. So it has a lot of advantages. It gives a lot of freedom to the carpet mill to, in manufacturing, to quickly shift from color to color what's needed. And that's one of the reasons why it's in great demand with carpet mills. It has a good feel to it underfoot, and like I said, it withstands stains very well. In a broad range of stains, from water-based to oil-based stains. Probably the next most popular yarn type is polyester. Polyester comes either virgin polyester refined from petroleum, or recycled polyester from recycled pop bottles, 2-liter bottles, things like that. That's usually referred to as PET polyester. I believe the PET stands for polyethylene terephthalate. But nonetheless, polyester is a softer yarn, has a softer feel. It is always solution dyed. It actually colors up brighter than nylon does. It has much richer colors in polyester. Its drawback is it's a softer yarn. It will crush faster than nylon will. And as good as polyesters have gotten over the years, they still haven't come up to nylon. Despite what the polyester manufacturers might want to tell you. Over the last 30 years, I've seen a lot of iterations of polyester, and it's still not quite as good as nylon. The third most popular yarn is Olefin. This is an inexpensive yarn. It is solution dyed. It is extremely stain resistant to waterborne stains. It is almost impossible to try and stain it with a waterborne stain, and it's almost impossible to try and bleach it. Bleach has very little to no effect depending on the construction. The disadvantage to olefin is it's even softer than polyester, so it does crush down, and it is very susceptible to oily based stains. Any type of oils, restaurant greases, asphalt driveway sealers, getting walked in on the carpet, they'll get bonded tightly to the yarn and they're never coming out. So depending on where your carpet's going, if you've got a busy traffic lane, you're best off with a nylon in some type of pattern. If you've got, say, a sunroom that doesn't see a lot of traffic, but you want a real burgundy carpet in there that's not going to fade, polyester would work much better for you. Or olefin. Nylon's going to fade in the sun. If you want cleanability more than anything else, olefin's a great idea. Olefin is almost exclusively used now in loop pile constructions because it does not work well in cut pile. It falls down, falls apart pretty quickly. As far as tufted or woven, if you see a woven carpet, take a good close look at it. Woven material is beautiful, has tremendous pattern capabilities. It is usually more expensive because it's a much slower way to make carpet when you're weaving it on a loom rather than tufting it in a machine. We can create tufted carpet at I think like 100 inches a minute, and we can create woven carpet at 100 feet a day, roughly. So we can create a whole lot more tufted carpet faster than we can create woven carpet. Woven carpet's a little bit more difficult to install, but generally is very durable. Oh, I forgot. The last yarn type that you don't see much of is wool. Wool's an expensive yarn. It has a lovely, luxurious feel to it. It's a very warm feel. It colors up very well, but the colors are very subdued. You're not going to get a bright wool carpet. It's going to be more of a matte finish, matte texture to it. It is extremely durable. There are cases of 100% wool woven carpets that have lasted for 100 years. We had a case here in, well, I won't get into that. Generally, you're going to find wool constructions, wool blends in the much more higher priced goods. Wool tends to shed a lot more. You're going to get a lot of fuzzing and shedding initially with a wool carpet. It will dissipate with regular vacuuming, but it's going to take a long time. But back to constructions. So the last thing I want to add here is carpet cushion. A lot of people just get whatever is good or whatever they think is good. They generally, it's the last thing on their list to think about is carpet cushion. Whatever whatever the salesman recommends, they'll put in. Depending on the salesman, he'll recommend whatever is on sale or whatever is going to give him the most commission. My own personal thoughts on carpet cushion is if you've got an extra $1 or $2 to spend per square yard, spend it on the cushion rather than the carpet. Carpet cushions are fairly economical, anywhere from $4 to $9 a square yard compared to, I don't know what it is now, $15 to $40 a square yard for the carpet. So you're going to get much more for your money by upgrading the carpet cushion than you are upgrading the carpet just a little bit with the extra $1 or $2. Most of your carpet cushions are made out of what's called Rebond. Rebond is not technically recycled. It is repurposed material. It's brand new virgin foam rubber chopped up into small bits and glued together to create certain densities of padding. These are referred to as pounds, 6 pound, 8 pound, 10 pound, I guess, 4 pound. And that weight is the weight of a cubic foot of this material. An 8 pound density cushion is usually suitable for any type of residential installation. You want something with a decent thickness to it. Always follow the carpet manufacturer's recommendations. Some companies have specific cushion types and sizes that they want under their carpet, and anything different would probably void the warranty and affect the wearability of the carpet. So I hope that gives you some good information to make some good choices about which carpet works best in your house. Like I said, if you're enjoying these videos, please hit the subscribe button below. I guess click on the bell that lets you be notified whenever we post a new video. And we'll talk more about carpet and other flooring constructions in the days ahead, and some of the problems that you can run into. Because really that's my expertise, is unfortunately failure. I'm an expert at failure, but everybody's got to be good at something. So, Matt Scour, the Floor Detective. We'll see you on the next video.